Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is another session of Danger Unexploded Spell, which is a playset for Girl by Moonlight. And last time we came off of a mission and we did the sort of end phase for that, and then rolled through a lot of the obligation phase and downtime and things like that. Got to see a lot of character things. And I will remind everyone, since it appeared repeatedly in my notes on the Stars and Wishes last time, this time, after the mission, we're going to be talking about a play that you are putting on. So that is high on people's list. But we take up then with the group of you out again. It's probably 5, 6 days after that last mission, and it's another shift of those winds of magic, and we see you out on the streets, patrols again, the darkened buildings to attempt to hide targets, magical wards to attempt to keep, yeah, provide some kind of illusions and things like that. So I imagine the sky is a little bit shimmery there. Uh, Tell me, uh, Alina, we are in a part of the city that is towards the heart of the city. You've crossed several bridges. You've been assigned to this. This is one of the more ancient districts, ancient neighborhoods of the city, the old founding heart of the city. What is different about the lighting or the buildings or the roads here that makes it distinct? You're muted.
I'm muted. I'm just thinking for a
Sure.
second. Nothing's really coming to mind. So can I pass this on to someone else? Because
Sure. Sure. Does someone
nothing
else want
comes to
to
mind.
want to
That's
take
interesting.
that question?
Sure.
Okay.
We know um, that the city was built at the crossroad of multiple rivers, and that a lot of the separate folk come from the mountains that the rivers come down from. So let's say that it's built from very different types of stone, and that they're mixed with an eye to, what do you say, demonstrating that the stones work together well, that they're aesthetic, that their different natures can be used for different kinds of buildings in different ways. It was a sort of a extravaganza of the craftsmen of that era.
Okay. So different colors, different, how they reflect the light, marble versus, hard stone, things like that. We see that around and about 37. As you are going through here, what is a like monument or statuary or like public display thing that you're surprised and pleased is still intact? Like it's the thing that usually in your various lives has gotten bombed out early, but you're surprised to see it still up.
Yeah, I think it's hmm. Yeah, I think there is this statue, this bronze statue that's just a giant apple, right? It's like an apple, but it's like the size of, you need like 4 adults to circle its like circumference. And
Mm-hmm.
like I don't think Yeah, I don't think anyone actually knows like why there is a giant apple, in this location, like a giant apple statue in this location. But I'm just glad to see that it's still intact because, like it's usually destroyed, so maybe that's a good sign. But I think there are a lot of legends about like who put it here and why. But I don't think anyone actually remember why there is a giant apple here.
I love it. And Akemi, uh, what what are the signs that you see of previous strikes here in this particular district, the heart of the city? Ruins or spell after effects or repairs, or what do we see?
Hmm. I can see that there's probably something kind of like residual with like some spells like, but the bigger question is, what kind of spell was it would we have here? Because like we've had so far elemental things of like fire and ice here, so trying to think of like what else could be a kind of a fun little thing that is playing off of what we've so far seen of how these work. Uh, that I'm not so certain. Maybe somebody else has an idea of like what the kind of spell, residual spell kind of thing is like left around here. But also, I would say that we definitely have like probably some uh evident like kind of like crater spots here and there that just kind of is like what would be normally kind of probably like smooth and kind of like space for like walking and such has like actual like craters and sometimes in little bits and pockets of it.
Yeah, makes it difficult for any kind of vehicles of the sort of diesel punk trucks and things to move around here. So it's all foot traffic and bikes and cycles and things. Well, let me ask you this then about let's say we see a spell affect maybe a confusion spell. How do they like mark that out for people to avoid the areas? Is it a physical thing? Is it warning signs? Is it a spell effect to kind of say, danger, don't approach kind of thing?
Oh, I would say there's probably some like like kind of tape in like kind of basic little fencing that's been put around the perimeter of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably has like at least one individual who kind of walks around the perimeter of this thing with like their little kind of like vest and like sign saying, "Hey, please stop what you're doing, don't go there."
Yeah. So some watch folk that move around here, kind of protecting things. Uh let me come back to you, Alina. What else do you think we're going to see on screen here as the group of you are moving through this sort of darkened, older, probably bigger buildings, maybe a little bit looming a part of the city?
We are in the heart of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so imagine that besides anything else, like as we maybe like go in deeper, we'll see like more well armored and well armed like soldiers, like soldiers that upon look it's pretty clear like they're not your regular bunch, they're the kind of like the elite soldiers, like like the soldier guards that
Mm-hmm.
are there to protect the heart of the city, the most important quote unquote buildings in the city.
Absolutely. A little bit fancier uniforms, a little bit more guard presence. Your papers are checked a little bit more. Uh, uh, it is one of those places though that because it is old and big, there are a lot of people that with do try to come here looking for shelter during the raids, which creates a kind of a density here. And the raids are going on. Uh, it it seems like they're trying some lower altitude attacks, some runs trying to be more targeted. We'll see some of the creatures a little bit closer in the sky, some of those ships, and of course we see the flashes of the magic fired off from the city and the defenses going off, and we hear the sound of the falling bombs and then the screech that some of them give off as they get close to the ground. And there will be a rain of bombs, and you'll see some explosions and such. And then you hear, the thudding sounds of impacts that by this point you know when you hear that and don't immediately hear something afterwards, there are two possibilities. Either it's a very subtle spell that has gone off, or it's an unexploded spell. And you will, moving along through the streets, fires, people are putting out small things, they're moving people along. You will come around the corner into a town square, and you will see that it is one of the large religious buildings. I don't want to say cathedral, that has a very Western religious connotation, but it is a large building with domes on it. And I think you can see on the domes, there's some place where there's some repair marks, but you can see that there are two fresh like impacts, things that have come through the roof there, and people are running around outside, like clearly something has happened there. Saracena, what's another physical feature of the outside of this building? Multi-story, that kind of big inner hall. We see domes, but what else do we see? Muted.
I think that one of the upper levels is sort of actually open air. It's got like big, tall, like the walls are made of stone, so it's just the arches there. And inside of it is like in a collection of wind chimes, and things like that, but like of significantly sized wind chimes.
Okay.
And if that makes any sense, that were built and that have like inscriptions on them and blessings, and there is a lot of magic tied to it. If that
Okay.
makes any sense. It's not offensive magic, it's all a very much like how do you say, messaging magic, calming magic, that kind of thing. is what's on
Absolutely.
it.
So we're going to do the engagement roll here before I go any further. So we start with a die. This is an important historical site for the city. So I do think that is important. So you get a die for that. You do have the resources. You're up to the top of that tier 2 on that. So that's another one. So we got 3. And you've got +1 for unexploded spell approaches. So does someone wish to roll those 4 dice, or would you like me to be the instrument of your doom?
I'll roll.
Okay, roll 4 dice.
I was just going to mention that last session we did have like the city's playbook level up, and we didn't choose what to take.
Okay.
Oh,
So let's pause there for a moment.
Oh, we
Yeah.
got flashback.
Flashback to the series pick.
I forgot about that.
Thank you for remembering.
Yeah. So we have determination, which if it determines the fate of a friend, you get to clear stress. Trigger wise, we choose another die for unexploded spell, and when you successfully disarm one, you get to mark a series XP. Equipped, which allows you to spend marks from their supply and support. Channeler, which helps with recovery. And we got a couple transcendent abilities too. We can also, if there's one that from another series playbook, you're also welcome to take those.
Actually, I think there's one I was going to recommend or suggest possibly.
Yeah, you've played quite a bit, so you know this.
Now, where in the world is the?
That
I need to see the.
Oh, let me unhide those tabs for you.
Actually, there we go. I think I have the one I wanted in front of me. Let me just see if this one fits. Oh yeah. One of the ones that I was gonna suggest. There's two different ones that I could suggest from another series. One is sync ratio. When you receive an assist and your actions succeed, clear 1 stress. When you use a link to help any ally, they also gain 2 die instead of 1 die.
Oh, that's gooby.
And then Never Alone is always great because it's the thing where you can assist people no matter where you're at, regardless of distance. And then, of course, along with that, it says when you assist a teammate from afar, ask that player 1 question about their character from your gather info list. Those are the two I always love when I see from other series. Those ones are always pretty great for any group.
They are pretty strong. Anyone else have thoughts? Another suggestion or one of those that you like of those 2 picks?
I mean, both of those are pretty terrific. The first one is, we had it in another series and it was key to many times, but so was the other one, was really good. I used it too.
37, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I don't have any particular preference.
Okay. Elena, we've had a strong for those 2. Do you have a lean either way between those 2?
Both sound great in their own ways.
Okay. So Kemi, both of those have been strongly suggested and backed up.
And we only get one of them.
We'll get one of them. So which one would you pick right now?
Given how we were racking up a lot of stress in our last mission, I think sync ratio might actually be our better bet, just because then we can actually kind of manage our stress just a tad bit.
Okay, absolutely. We'll put that in there. Okay. So yes, so we have sync ratio. Thank you for reminding of that, Alina. Now roll back to the present, and let's have you roll that 4 die engagement roll.
Well, I'm very consistent apparently.
Yes.
So it gets 4. So that would be risky, right?
Yeah. So you will come in. The situation is complicated, and people are running around. It doesn't seem like there's anyone in charge on the ground here. You will have heard that there was another set of bombs in another part of the area that has drawn some people out, and so this wasn't covered. You will see that in the inner hall, kind of below that open air area, there are a set of wires and lines that carry like crystals and prayer markers and things like that are up maybe about 5 sorry, more like 8 or 9 meters off the floor. And you will see that one of the bombs that has come through is tangled up in that and is still swaying precariously there in the effects. But the other one has punched through and has gone through the floor and seems to have gone down into the under catacombs, the under mausoleum of the place. And you will hear from someone that this place is a shelter, and there are people that are down there in that mausoleum that we're taking shelter, and the way out has apparently been blocked. So, Alina, what do you do? Risky position here. Things are tough. Couple of bombs. People trapped. There may be an additional complication or two, but that's where we are right now.
Okay. So we've got 2 bombs. I think Elena would.
I'll put that bomb clock, by the way, at 06 right on the table.
Oh, that's for both, or just one of them?
That's for at least one of the bombs will go up when it hits 6.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. There's one up here, but I think in the situation, Elena would be more preoccupied with the bomb that went down into the mausoleum.
Okay.
People are trapped, and Elena could potentially save us. I think the first thing Elena's going to do is probably get down
Yeah.
back to the hole that the bomb left behind.
Yeah, that's a
I think
difficult thing to do. So tell me how you're going to do that.
Well, I'm not jumping into the hole just yet. I'm going to the hole that was left behind by the
Sure.
bomb down, and I think I'm gonna actually gather some info first.
Perfect. So that I'm going to say analyze it, but if there's something else that seems right, go ahead and say.
Yeah, I think analyze is probably right in the situation. I just wanna basically analyze that. Basically, just look down the hole,
Sure.
see like exactly what the situation down there looks like, and see
Yeah.
if I can analyze the best course of action.
2 dice then.
Yeah, 2 dice. Let us see. Okay, that's a 3.
So it's a good thing that this is an action without terrible consequences. But you are kind of standing at this precarious edge, so you get a question. What question from your playbook do you want to ask?
Okay. I guess how can I gain an edge would be.
So it's kind of it goes down. I mean, it is a whole 3 or 4 feet across. So you really want to like maybe take some of the fallen lines or things like that, and like use that to help you climb down, set yourself up, and to help the others. I mean, you can kind of set up some mechanical stuff there to make it easier to get down. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, it seems fair. In that case, yeah, I think Lena is going to basically just being apologetic to the people who might worship each other religion. This issue is going to basically just kind of like rip out like some of the lines hanging above, and basically just like use them as like a rope to put down, so it's easier for both our team to basically go up and down there. But also potentially, if there are people trapped down there, potentially also give them a way to escape.
So that feels like set up a teammate, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like that would be set up a team, basically setting up the entire team to potentially go down there.
Yeah. What do you want to roll that kind of setting up with?
Let's see. Actually, if anything that fits here, I think perhaps maybe flow.
Okay. Are you transcending? Using your magic, or are you still holding off?
I probably should transcend, shouldn't I? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna transcend.
Okay.
Do that.
So what does that look like we haven't seen you as much like lean into your magic. So what do we see here? I mean, you've got that explosive magic. We know some things about it, but what does that look like when we see you transcend on screen?
I think like if you see like Alina like for a moment just shut the devote out for the moment, like just like focus in on herself, closed eye, like ignoring like everything surrounds her. Like she just focuses
Mm-hmm.
up for a bit, and she'll think back to her experiences so far during the war, how she basically went to the war head first after the explosion at her home to the missions she had with
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the group, and she'll after the bit of credit that she has to basically just say to herself that this magic is can be helpful, and this is a situation where she can actually use it to showcase that hey, this is helpful and it can be used better than in like the last mission that it was basically used as a weapon. In this case, I can use it as actual tool to help the people out.
Absolutely. Mark one of your transcendents and roll a die for flow.
That's only one die.
Yep.
Let me see. Okay. And that's a 4.
So that is a 4. So I think that you will provide that setup, but I think that there is that bit as you're doing that this is you haven't used this magic, like you still have some secondary things. And I think there is like some crackle and pop from your spell that kind of creates some vibrations. And I am going to, unless you want to resist it, put a tick on the clock.
I probably should resist it. What would be the resistance in this case? Which one?
That would be, since I think we're working with stars here, I think it would be stars. You'd be rolling for resist.
Okay, why not? Let's resist. So that
Okay.
would be 2 dice in this case.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not 4.
So two stress you're marking.
Okay, actually not bad.
No, not bad. I like to have you
I say.
burn your stress early on. That always makes me happy. So 37, got the bomb that's hanging in the wires up above. We've got this hole that Alina has been building, getting stuff to clamber down into. What do we see you do?
That
Oh, 37. I'm sorry. Apologize.
Yeah, so the bomb is hanging, but it's not exploding, right?
So we've got one bomb of the 2 that is hanging up in these wires that is kind of swaying back and forth, and it hasn't gone off yet. And then there's another that's fallen down, smashed through down into the crypts down below.
Hmm. But the one hanging, like the one who is above, is there a way, like a clear way we can get to it without using magic? Like, is there a way we can climb?
There probably are balconies and probably some kinds of ladders to get up to those things, but it would require kind of clambering across the wires to get over to where it's at. So it is possible.
Yeah, let me see. That sounds like a job for someone more athletic, though.
Okay.
Let me see. No. Yeah, I guess I just going to go into the hole then, because
Okay. Absolutely. So
Yeah, Alina is already set that up, so
yeah. It's risky standard effect. They've assisted, so you can choose whether you want to make that less risky, or greater effect for kind of speed and access. What would you like to do with that?
yeah. So right now, is this am I dealing with something supernatural simply by going into the hole?
I don't think you know yet what is going on with that down there yet.
Hmm.
Want to gather information first?
Oh yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
let me see if I have a yeah, sure. Let me try. Let me see. This is like I think it's just analyzed. So
Yeah,
that's
that
one die.
seems fair.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to roll one die since
Absolutely.
it's just getting information. I got a
So
5,
that's
so
a question and a follow-up. What question from your playbook do you want to ask?
yeah. So obviously, the obvious question is what might happen if I go into the hole?
So I think as you're looking down, and you can't quite see the bottom of the hole because it goes down a ways. It clearly smashed through a couple of levels. You're hearing the sounds of some people down there, their voices, but you're also hearing this groaning sounds, this shambling, low moans, and perhaps even the sounds of lids off stone coffins being pushed aside. And you realize that whatever this bomb is, it hasn't gone off yet, but it has one of those secondary animation spells. And it's landed in a crypt with a lot of bodies to animate. And so there is a risk if you go down of those things grabbing you.
Yeah. So I get a follow-up question, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my follow-up question is, what is the easiest way to deal with the reanimated corpse?
You've got a couple of choices there. One is to drain off the magic that is animating them, to get the energy, uh, uh, away from them to have them fall down. Other way is, I mean, they're nasty and they're dangerous, but they're very physical. They don't have a lot of magical effect. So, magical barriers are also a useful thing against them.
Yeah, sure. Then I guess I will transcend and try to drain their magic first.
Okay. So I think this is going to be low effect because you are at a distance here. Like you haven't seen them, all you're doing is hearing them. Does that seem
But
fair?
can I get Alina's like setup for this one?
I think the setup is mostly for climbing down into there.
Hmm.
So you can climb down in. It'll be very easy, and then you'll have potentially a greater effect on the next round.
Okay, then I'm going to climb down first because it sounds like that doesn't involve magic, so I don't have to transcend yet.
Okay. So what do you want to roll for going down?
I guess it's Defy, right?
Yeah,
Because
that
it's
feels
like,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. So is
Yeah, so
defy, do you want it to be less risky, or do you want to do it with greater effect, like get down super fast?
what's the position right now? Is it risky or
Right now,
standard?
risky standard.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to make it less risky.
Okay. absolutely.
Yeah, so is there a poison promise I can take here?
I think the poison promise is that climbing down into here is like this is all broken sharp stone and mud and all of that, and it is going to tear up your clothes, like, and you don't guys don't have very many in terms of your resources for that, but it's going to just kind of really damage your outfit.
Yeah, sure. I can deal with that.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I'm going to roll with 2 dice because like we are at low risk, so I don't think
Yeah.
it's super important to. I'll save my resource for later.
That makes sense.
I got a 4, so not
Yeah.
bad.
So you will get down there, and it is controlled, so I don't think that there are like any of the undead that have risen up are over in your area. So I think you're kind of in a decent position there. I do think you do like catch a sleeve, catch the back of your dress. There's a point at which it tears into your shoes there as you're clambering down into this. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Akemi, you will see Alina sets us up, and then 37 stands at the edge and then starts going down. What do you want to do?
Well, at the moment, I would say actually they are waiting to see what Sarah Senna is doing, actually, because they're kind of assessing what the team's doing, and she's actually taking the time actually right now to do what they don't normally do, which is not rushing in.
Okay. Fair. So Sarah Senna, what do you want to do?
I think that I want to make sure that that bond that's caught in the wires stays caught in the wires. It seems like it's something that we can do, that we can grab the surrounding wires and make sure that it's cradled by like essentially pulling them over and tying them to things on the other side. So if Kemi and I both do that, we could do that faster, I think. But
Okay.
just essentially make it so that even if it slips from its thing, it'll come into the, think of it as like it's here and we're pulling threads from here underneath it over and tying them up, and then the other way so that it will fall to an actual cradle of threads. Does that make any sense?
That seems fair.
Or not fall, but maybe be supported by that cradle
Okay.
more.
So doing that with physically or with magic, which are
I
you?
think physically.
Okay.
So, and that seems like
Yeah.
it would be analyze
Yeah.
or flow. I could do it with flow, but I think it's more analyze.
Okay. Akemi, are you helping out with that?
Yep.
Do we want to read that as a group action since that's what you're good at, Sarah Senna?
Sure. Sure,
Okay.
we can do that. Okay. So we
So-
both roll?
Yes. So Akemi, are you using analyze or using flow, something else to do this?
I think for that they'll probably be using more on the perceive end of things, because I think that they're kind of going off of more of like what Sarah Senna's kind of leadership is telling them the plan in a way.
Sure. So both of you roll a die.
Okay. And I'm going to use one of my links with Sarah Senna to give Sarah Senna 2 dice instead.
Okay.
So
Oh.
that's 3.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So I'll roll 3d6.
My one.
So
I
we
rolled a
do-
6
Do
though.
get a 6. So you will get this set up. I do think that Akemi is not as coordinated or as tall to be able to do this and reach the wires. So Sarah, you will take a point of stress
Okay.
from Akemi's there.
Awesome.
Akemi, what is it that makes it like a little less like what do we see happen with you?
I think it's that thing of like having just the struggle of like kind of reaching and doing things. So what ends up happening is like the realization, okay, the better way to help out on this is providing random like bits of tools from their little like kit to help Sarah Senna like kind of actually make it happen. But like this is after a bit of like trying to reaching and trying to like do things. And it's like this yeah, my arms don't go this high.
So then Kemi, do you want to do an action or gather information before I sweep back to Lena?
I think we're good to just switch for right now.
Okay, all right. Alina, you've got this set up. You've got these wires and the climb down. And Sarah and Akemi are getting the bomb. So it's supported, not diffused yet, but supported. What do we see you do, Alina?
Well, it seems like Sebastian and Akemi have got the bomb up here pretty much handled.
Hopefully.
I say. But Lisan's alone down in the crypt, so Lena's going to basically go help out Lisette and basically use the rope that she set up to basically
Okay.
go down there with her.
Yeah. So it is a challenge to get down there.
Yeah. So I guess I would be loading flow again
Okay.
to just get down. So that would be another stick on the transcend.
Yep. And roll with 1 die.
Right, 1 die. Actually, can I also take a poison promise?
I offer you the same poison promise that I gave 37. It is sharp and unpleasant, and your outfit is going to get ripped and
Okay.
kind of destroyed. You're going to need to replace it after this.
That's a good thing. Elena's been saving up some of the clothes for the stage play.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 2 die.
2 die.
Let's see what happens. Okay, that's a 5.
And I think that same mixed success on a low controlled position, you're down there next to 37. You've got some distance to these undead. You will see this is a big kind of crypt area. There are some lanterns. There are a set of these undead moving around. You can hear sounds from elsewhere where people were clearly in other parts of these catacombs. And there's shouting and yelling because there's still like, imagine the visibility is hard down here. There's dust in the air. The lighting isn't great. And like some people are trapped under rubble and stuff elsewhere down here. But what you're seeing is these figures moving around, these undead, and there is a large bomb that has skidded to the end of this particular section of the catacombs. So 37, Alina climbs down and joins you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to just transcend and then try to deal with the undead, right? Try to unanimate them first.
Sure. Absolutely. So what does that look like, and what are you rolling to kind of start to draw out that energy?
Yeah, I think like I think I'm still using my violin, right? But I think like this is like I'm trying to draw the energy back into the bomb, kind of like reverse its effect. So like
Mhm.
the its side effects stay in the bomb until we can diffuse it. So I think like I'm playing this this melody that's a common requiem in the in the city, but it's in reverse, right?
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
every note is in reverse. So I'm trying to draw that energy back into the bomb so we can diffuse them at once.
Absolutely. So this is right now risky, and there are a lot of them. So right now it's low effect.
I think to get higher effect, I need. Oh wait, I need a setup. Can I trade position for effect?
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd like to make it desperate, push yourself there a bit and try to get that standard effect to get more of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? Like, how do we know that it is desperate? You are really leaning into this.
Yeah, I think apart from being reversed, the melody is really fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because requiem are usually slow, mournful, but this feels more like a country or like a pop version of like because it's like double the meter, double the speed. So like and like like I'm sweating and because like I'm playing, I think like my fingers are caught on the string because
Mm-hmm.
like like I'm playing too hard and too fast and like I'm not taking as much time and attention.
Nice.
Can I assist in this situation?
Well, so what we'll do is you can take a stress, mark a stress, and give them an extra die, Alina.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that just to
Okay.
help them out.
Yeah. So that's 2 dice at least.
What are you
So
rolling with this? Is this express or something
yeah,
else?
it feels like express.
Okay.
So is there a poison promise here?
I think that if you are doing this, you are kind of like pushing this magic back into that bomb. So I will put a tick on the clock. It's the first
How
tick
many? Yeah,
at
sure.
a
Why
6.
not?
Absolutely. You should
Yeah.
absolutely do that.
Yeah, sure. I think I have 3 dice. Yeah, I'll roll with
3
that.
dice. Desperate standard effect.
Hmm. 3. Let me see. I already get a poison. Yeah, I think that's everything
Yeah.
because I cannot push myself
Correct.
anymore. So, okay, I will roll with 3 dice and get.
So
I got a
that is
6.
got a 6. So we will see you draw off, and I think probably about half of this mob will essentially stop, and their bodies will collapse to the ground. Like you will wipe out half of them and take that energy and push it back into the field, the magical wards that are around that bomb there. And it is exhausting, but you are able to do that. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Alina, we'll come. Kemi, we'll come back to Saracena. We'll come back down to the basement in a second.
Okay, let's see here. Well, I think that we need to head back to the basement. I
Clamber
do
down
want to
that
do,
hole.
can I do a quick study though on this
Gather
bomb?
information. Sure.
Yeah, okay. So essentially, I just want to understand essentially, it's just an analyze to see what kind of bomb, like what its trigger is, if it's stillness or what, so,
Okay.
or collision. I'm hoping that it's like that force that it just hasn't. Anyway,
Sure.
so I guess I'm rolling 1d6 because that's all we got. A whole one. Ugh, I don't get anything.
No, you always
No,
get
I
a
guess-
question.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's one of those ones without a consequence.
Oh, good. Let's see here. Of course, Mike, you can't always ask a thing that's useful depending on your thing. So what here is incomplete in the setup for the bomb?
What here is incomplete? Well, you will hear the ticking sound of the timer on the bomb, and it is clearly incomplete in that it has not reached the end of its countdown.
Okay. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
oh no.
I think
Are you
it's
gonna
like it gets
split us?
quiet and you're listening and you're kind of using
Mhm.
Senna to kind of draw some of the sounds to you because they work with that sound, and you'll hear that.
Okay. And that's what I will say. Okay, this one here's on a timer. Mhm.
So gather information is just gather information. You still have an
Okay.
action.
I still have action. I look at Kemi and I'm like, could you tell what kind of timer it is? Can we stop it?
Well, if I can get up to it, it's not too different than like tinkering with what relics. I just need to be able to actually get near it enough to kind of get into its mechanics. That's the bigger problem. It's a little high up.
It is a little high up, but I might be able to help with that. So yes, I think, can I get a Kemi up there?
That
Like
feels
make it
like a setup.
Yes, that will be what
Because
I'm
right
doing.
now, like on the diffusing a bomb on the wires right now is desperate low effect.
Yes. So that's what I want to. This is crazy. So yes, what I will do is, and this is pretty, I'm moving fast and it's a thing, and I probably just transcend at that moment because I do need Senna's help.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. And
Yeah.
I'm going to use flow, and essentially I'm going to make I'm going to take the remaining lines and kind of weave them together in a sort of quick loose braid so it acts like a ladder, and essentially leave that top part of it, like have several lines there so that Akemi has something to essentially steady themselves against.
Absolutely. So that's 2 dice to do this setup.
Mhm.
Certainly I'll offer you a poison promise if you'd like. I'll just put another tick. It's only
Oh,
one
you can
tick on.
offer me the poison promise.
Yeah,
So what it
yeah.
is, yes.
Would you like to take that poison promise? I put another tick, just 2 then on the clock.
This is pretty horrible and desperate. I'm going to try 2 dice.
Okay, I love it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know this could be terrible, but the ticks are actually, there's not that many of them. All right, here's hoping I roll better. Oh, I got a 4.
4. So I think you will get that there, but I do think that requires you to kind of spend your magic and connect up to those wires, but also kind of connect up by the bomb. And I think that there is a flash of feedback, and essentially you're going to take some mana burn, which is going to be a level 1 harm.
I will go to protect.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to use my secret expertise here, as I'm actually very equipped with knowledge of kind of the anything with like electronics and the kind of mechanics of things. So I think I'm going to use that to help me with the suffering a consequence for them kind of thing here.
Absolutely.
And I'm assuming sounds like this is Sun.
That does feel like Sun. So Sun with 2 dice.
Okay, let's go. All right, 4. So that means 2 stress. Where's
2
my 2
stress. As you kind of like, is it that you kind of pull Sarah away, or what do we see happen there?
I think considering how this is, it's like it's probably that thing of like realizing what's about to happen and everything is that thing of like kind of like one kind of put like preemptively kind of puts on some kind of rubber kind of gloves or and all, and kind of like grabs a hold of Sarah and everything, and also kind of like takes a little bit of a metallic kind of rod and puts it into the ground as they do so to create a grounding.
That seems fair. So Akemi, you're coming up to this bomb. You've gotten that set. And you've got this assist from Saracena. Now, this is desperate and low effect. But you've got that setup so you can change one of those things.
Oh yeah, and we'll definitely make that a standard here.
Okay.
Because standard effect is just better than low effect.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, so I'm going now that this bomb is within like at least tinkering reach for me, or in a way, I'm going to just kind of pull out my tools here, and I'm going to basically just start doing what I'm used to doing, which is kind of knowing, okay, let's look at the mechanics here and find out what thing that I need to take off to kind of either get at the inner mechanism, or if I can see anything that kind of just stands out as, oh yeah, I just need to unlatch that part here, and that should stop at least the timer portion of it.
Absolutely. You had some briefings on these. You were given some lessons. So defy, perceive.
This would be, I think, defy, because I am facing a thing head on here.
Okay.
And I'm going to push myself. So there's 2 stress. Let's see here. And then, yeah, so I have 2 dice right now.
Yeah.
Do I want to do anything more?
Let's
See.
Can I sing to inspire? Probably nervously, but
Let me.
this is when I sing to inspire my allies. I can. Oh no, I roll 1d. I can't give
Right.
them 1d. Sorry.
Right.
Let's see.
You can mark a stress to give
Let's see.
Akemi an extra die if you wish, Sarah.
Oh, I thought I had to have a link.
No, you can spend
No,
all split
no.
of stress.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So 3 dice. There's almost
Okay,
no
yeah.
chance you could fail.
Oh yeah, yeah, with
Yeah,
me,
low,
yeah,
low, low.
totally.
If you actually buy
Oh!
I
no.
knew it
no.
was coming. Oh,
So we have 2 consequences here. And this is desperate. So I think one of the consequences is that the bomb is going to go off. And the other consequence is that you are going to take magical feedback. You're going to take a level 2 mana burn on yourself as that like wards around this go off.
I will resist the actually going off part.
Okay.
And I will resist one of her. I will resist her burn thing.
Okay, so let's start with Akemi. rolling the resist for the bomb.
That sounds like.
I am, let's see.
That
That
is-
feels like sun to me.
It's like it's the actual causing it to go off almost kind of thing. So it almost sounds like maybe even
Oh, resist. What do you
Yeah.
think?
maybe moon because it's more on the despair part if I screw up.
Oh, absolutely. I'm willing to let you make that.
I'm gonna actually spend one of my links with Akemi to give her one more die to help her resist that.
So what you would do is spend that to like clear 2 stress to give him some more room for things would be the best way, right? Or what would you prefer, Akemi?
Uh, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
This is gonna be. Woo! Okay.
Wow, you take
Working
no
under pressure.
stress for like stopping the bomb. And I think it is that you are working on the trigger and you realize that it's a dummy trigger and there's a secondary mechanical trigger and you suddenly have to rush there even as that uh, 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 energy from that spell is washing over you. Sarah, you wish to resist?
Yes. So that would
Uh,
be with, gosh, stars?
no, I think it's either sun or moon.
Really? Okay. I thought since it was magic. Okay, that makes sense then. I guess moon then.
Okay.
Perceive. Okay, so 1d6. I got a 2.
Going to mark 4 stress.
No, I'm going to go into eclipse.
We're going to mark 2 stress. And in a second, we're going to roll for your eclipse here.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go to that. So first of all, Alchemy, so you're going to take a level 1 harm
Yeah.
rather than a level 2 as Sarah drains off some of that energy.
Like
And then immediately, Sarah, you're going to roll a d6 to see whether you go into eclipse or not.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I rolled a 5.
Roll a 5.
And I will use my link to make it so now it only needs a 4 or 5 to succeed.
Okay.
Ooh,
So you will not go into eclipse.
okay. Does that clear my stress or
Nope.
am I maximally
No, it does not. You
stressed?
are on the edge of eclipse. That actually feels like a
Basement.
good point for us to we'll come back to the basement after this chaos upstairs. We'll come back down to the basement. Let's take our first break. We'll go till it's about 3 after, so let's go to 10 after and come back. Sound okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So we're back. Alina, you see 37 lean into this. You see 37 moving that magic around, and half of this mob of old, wizened corpses from these crypts just collapse down. And blood coming off of 37's fingers as she plays. What do you want to do?
First stuff, let's gather some information.
Okay.
Because why not? So I think I'm going to basically, I think I'm gonna do what Akemi basically did, and basically like look at the bomb at the end of the crypt, and basically just try and like gather some info first, like just gather some information about how to basically disarm it.
Sure.
Probably be
Analyze. Yeah, that feels
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 2 dice. That's a 6.
6. So that is, I think, 2 questions.
Yes, and because I'm analyzing non-human things, I can do 2 questions from any playbook currently in play.
Okay. So what is your first question?
Let me just quickly go over the questions. Okay, yes. I think my first question is going to be, what did it happen here from the time travel information gathered?
So this bomb has had two effects. It summoned up these husks to kind of create a problem around here. But it's also, when it hit, it created this vibration and has unsettled this area down in these crypts. Like, it brought down sections of these roofs, and there are people that are still trapped down here. It feels like that that may be what this bomb is. When it goes off, it may create a significant seismic vibration.
Okay. And I guess the matter question is going to be, what is hidden here?
You will see that beside the bomb here, like, kind of looking around, there is some kind of, it's not from the bomb, but it's sitting down here, some kind of magical device that you kind of looking at it, and you kind of reach out with your magic, and it feels like it's a homing device. Like somebody planted this here to mark this place as a target.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Betrayal.
well, I think first things first. I think Lena's just going to just quickly take that homing device and just quickly stash it into her bag. Just this, she can tell this is like a homing device. It's like a signal marker, but at the moment they have more pressing matters. He's going to come back to that.
Sure. You
at that
still got
point.
half of this mob of undead, and you've got a bomb that who knows what the countdown is like on it.
Yeah. So I think in this situation, I see. I should do something, but I feel like it might be best to just set up a situation for the 7 again.
Okay. What is it that you want to do? How do you want to do that?
So it seems like for the 7, probably has a better grasp of how to maybe seal up this bomb, as she already kind of has reversed its effect up by portion. So I feel like maybe, and Lena did see that. I feel like in situation Lena will basically just maybe she had to set up that by actually want to do that.
You've got two challenges here. You've got the other half of this mob of undead who you two are alive and kind of coming towards you. The tertiary thing is you've still got innocents around who potentially are going to suffer some consequences here if things don't go well for you. And you've got the bomb.
Yeah, and I've got a bomb. Where we can't really help the people or really disarm the bomb with this and that around. So I think actually Alina is basically just going to take a page out of a chemist's book this time, and actually again, and it's going to act as a distraction for the undead to get the undead to go towards her and allow for the 7 perhaps active chance to either disarm the bomb, help
Okay.
the citizens.
Absolutely. I think this is risky standard because 37 has cut the threat down to draw them off. And how are you doing that? Is it using some kind of magic? Are you running towards and through them? What do we see on screen?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually use my heals one I prepared earlier, Transcendence ability, which allows me to basically to once per Transcendence, I can activate a flashback without spending stress to create a device that does the following. I'm gonna do
Okay.
the last option, create an opportunity for an ally, basically.
Okay.
And I think since the last mission we did the giant monsters, Alina's been kind of maybe thinking about like a better way like to get the attention like of magical creatures, because there's also the elementals in the first mission. I mean, but a better way to attract attention and then basically just like running around
Yeah.
to them. The thing like is a flashback scene where Alina's been like tinkering with some of the like magic left over based on the exploded spells, and basically create like this kind of like a flare like device, like when activated, like just emits like this potent magical like signature
Yeah.
that it just attracts the magical creatures towards it.
So yeah, let's say risky, but great effect. Like you've built the device for this. Seem reasonable?
Yes, reasonable.
Okay.
So that's max 1 transcendence.
And
And which would that be? I think it'll be the 5 most likely. That
okay.
makes most sense.
Okay. So you're rolling 2 dice and taking the lowest.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to assist Alina, so
Sure.
I want to use my 2 steps ahead. So twice per mission, I can assist a teammate without spending stress. If I say how I prepared for this situation, and I
Okay.
think like it's pretty simple, right? I think like in Alina's flashback, we see someone has like sneak some kind of document or like parts for her invention, like and like we see like it's 37's hand, like putting a document on her table, or like like putting a part into her drawer, and that's because I know like she will do this eventually, so I already got her like the information or the material she would need.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. So Alina, you're rolling with 1 die then.
That's one die. Can I take a poison promise?
Yeah. Let me put another tick on that clock.
That would put us at how many ticks? 2 or 3?
Geez, only 2, because you all are being desperately, I don't want to say cowardly, but cautious with me.
Okay. Okay, I'll give in. I'll let you do 1
Absolutely.
tick.
You are a generous person, so that will give you 2 dice for doing this.
Okay. And let us see. Adore. That's a 5.
Okay. So risky, but great effect. So I think you will. The effect is that you're going to be able to take these zombies out of the picture here, so that they are going to be completely off the table. But I do think that the consequence is that they are running around in here. You're drawing them, and there is vibration and noise, and I am going to put another tick on the clock as a consequence. Would you like to
Okay.
resist that?
That would be. I'm guessing the moon or stars.
Yeah, I would be willing to let you roll the resist with stars if you want. You've got a couple of
Yeah.
stress. You've got some links.
Yeah, I've got 50 links. I've got.
And you can also use those links, of course, to clear your own stress. And you could do that before you roll.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually use one of my links to kill me to remove just 2 stress because I don't have a good feeling about this one, and I'm gonna resist with stars, so that gives me 2.
Yeah. And did you take the clear the stress for the assist that you did?
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay, so take another stress off. Thank you, 37.
I keep forgetting about that one.
Uh,
Okay, so that's
2 dice.
yeah, 2 dice. Let us see.
Just don't roll snake eyes.
Oh, that's a 4.
2 stress. So 37. You've taken care of and wiped out the animated half of them. Alina pulls out that device that you knew that she would and drags the other half away, kind of throws it. They are off the table. What is it that you want to do? I think the big challenge here is, of course, the deactivating the bomb, but we do still have people down here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to deactivate the bomb.
Okay. So the bombs themselves, by their very nature, are because they are big, dangerous things. It is desperate, low effect for going in to deactivate. So what do you want to do here?
Yeah, I think I'm going to gather information about the bomb first.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll with 1v6 to, I think this is analyze.
Yeah.
I got a 2, so that's one question, right?
Sure. What do you want to know?
What really happened? What is already in motion? What might happen? What is different? So what do I remember about this bomb?
You remember that this bomb is very much temperature sensitive. If it gets too cold or too warm, the trigger is going to go off. I think we can probably see, like, you remember the spell matrixy that kind of, you visualize that and you can kind of see that hanging in the air there. This one is less a mechanical trigger and more of a magical one that is up.
Okay, I think I think I'm going to try to Like what I'm going to try to is to separate the trigger from the bomb.
Okay. Like, do we see you put down your violin, or are you still using your violin to do that? Like, what do we see with that magic there?
Yeah, Yeah, actually, I think we do see like I have the script, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm going by memory, I'm trying to remember how this thing was done the last time. And probably it wasn't me who diffused it the last time. So I have like the detail wasn't perfect.
Sure. So what do you want to roll that with?
It sounds like analyze, right?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So right now I have one die. Would the poison promise be more ticks?
The poison promise right now, yeah, I would put more ticks. Just goes
Yeah,
to
sure. We
3.
still have we
Absolutely.
still have ticks.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. You've got plenty of time.
In that case, I think I'm gonna spend one of my bands to give for the 7 2 more dice.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I got 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
look
right
at
now
that.
it's desperate and
Desperate and low effect.
low effect. Yeah. Yeah, but there's no way to get higher effect except an assist. So yeah, I'm going to roll with that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
4 dice.
4 dice.
Yeah, I got a 6, so
So
that's
that is a
good.
6. So I think you are making progress. Like, I think we'll see you pulling apart the pieces of this that you remember. Like, you're checking your script, you're pulling it apart, you're doing it. But this takes a while. This isn't something you did before. We probably see that bead of sweat on your forehead here. Um, you do get to mark an XP for desperate. Um, and we see you, like, you're probably focused in on that. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's cut back upstairs. Kemi, kind of shaking off that almost feeling of being blasted there. Sarah, you're feeling kind of on edge.
We
Which
had
of
a
you?
question.
Yes.
When I did the assist for Akemi, was that a desperate situation? I know that the timer revealed a desperate situation.
Yeah,
So
we'll say it's desperate.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for the question. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like if it is, you need to add a 1 EXP mark on the thing that you rolled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first on this still a desperate uh, uh, standard effect with the assist bomb disposal?
I think in this way, I think Akemi is actually going to try and set up Saracena for this.
Okay.
And the reason and the way this is kind of gonna go is it's like Akemi is now at least I aware of where these kind of dummy triggers were and everything, and along with that, um, through a little bit of pain, they have got an understanding of the mechanism, but are realizing that it'd be easier with somebody who with more on the magical side of things to actually access the more the better into the mechanism itself with a little hopefully less risky situation than a normal person trying to mess with a magical bomb. Basically kind of almost being like an advisor in a way of like how to do things.
So the assist is still a desperate. What do you want to roll the assist with?
I will do. Let's see
Okay.
here.
I assume you're saying setup, or are you doing assist with the?
It's a setup.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. I'm thinking this is on the perceiving thing because I'm actively kind of like
Yeah.
assessing the this bomb that I've like looked at and worked on already. So and have an idea at least what we're dealing with. I will push myself here just because I think this is worth my time here. But I will not do anything more than that. And we'll roll with 2 dice.
That is a
6.
6.
Woo!
So
Nice.
able to do that, you'll be able to get that assist. So I assume we're making this risky standard, or are we doing this desperate great effect? Which do you
How
want,
about,
Sarah?
I think if I can do this with flow, which makes sense, since it's going to be something that I'm doing with my magic, and my magic is inherently wind, which is all flow.
Okay,
How about we do it desperate great effect?
I love it.
I'm
Okay.
going to really quickly just clear 2 stress of yours there because I don't want to touch that any further.
Okay. So I will mark transcendence.
Yeah, and 3 dice.
Okay. Come on. Okay. Do this, dices. Ugh, 4.
So that is a mixed success on a 4. So I think that there are going to be 2 consequences here.
Uh-huh.
But you are going to get this bomb diffused.
All right.
The first is that we are going to put another tick on the clock for that other bomb to go off. Take us to 4 out of 6. But then also, I think that there is a wolf as you diffuse this, and it shakes the building. And there are going to be some people downstairs who are going to get hurt. There are going to be some bystanders as some of the rubble comes crashing down on them. Would you like to resist one of those?
Actually, I will go ahead and do a kind of a protect here in a way.
Okay.
But along with that, let's see here. Actually, no, I think I'll do just a protect on what do we care about most, Sarah? What do we care about the tick, or do we care about the poor civilians about to get smushed?
If you choose one, I'll do the other.
I will stop the civilians from getting smushed.
Okay. I like it. So what are you doing to kind of take that, stop that magical energy from reverberating here?
Yeah, and I'm thinking that what I'm going to do here is kind of in realizing this this and everything, and very much trusting in Sarah's kind of diffusing of this bomb and everything, is like they're actually going to place some kind of like grab onto the bomb and kind of try and have the energy kind of pulse into pulse at them and everything, and kind of stabilize things and be kind of like that little like
perfect.
routing.
Defy.
Yeah, that sounds like a defy. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. Woo. Okay. Whoop, whoop. There we go.
All right. Now I forget, do you roll now for Eclipse, or do you only roll when you would go over?
I think it's when you would.
Yeah, I
Let's
think
see
it's when
here.
you would go to the next one. I think that's why we got that
Yes.
box
Yeah.
there.
I
So you are
think so.
right on the edge. And speaking of on the edge, Saracena, would you like to resist?
Yes, and I think that it makes sense that essentially that what it is when I use my magic to sense and do this trigger thing, I also sense what's going on with this other bomb, and that's why I might be able to stop tick, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
It is. And here's the thing, is 4 color. I actually send Senna to help with the other bomb. So there we have it. If I end up eclipsing.
Resisting with stars then?
Yes.
Okay.
So So 4.
2 stress.
All right. Once again, right back up to.
But there will be this bit where you guys there, you kind of hold on to it where you pull out with Senna that second mechanical trigger. And we got that clockwork in your hands there. And I imagine that as you pull it out and you've got that clockwork, there is this as it hits the hour there, and we see the little spark of magic come off of it. Let's cut down below. Alina, you see 37 is desperately working to get this spell set, trying to diffuse it. What do you want to do?
I feel I can obviously help with the diffusal, but there are still people trapped down here in the debris. So
A tough choice.
yeah, I think I'm gonna first gather some information about the actual double. Like I'm trying to analyze like the actual structural integrity of the crypt as a whole
Okay.
to see like how desperate the situation actually is.
So that feels like analyze.
Yeah, that would be analyzed, I would say. So that's 2d6. Let us see. Oh, that's a 3.
So what question is it you want to know?
Let's see. I guess I'm gonna what might happen if I try and like push away the double to and trap the citizens trapped here.
Well, you certainly would be able to help some of the people right now. But the at the moment, the bomb is the real threat. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. There probably quite a few people down here if this is like a larger religious building. Probably not enough time to help everyone out there doubling up the cable. So yeah, I think Alina's going to basically just turn over to 247 where the bomb is located, and probably also just trying to like help 37 diffuse it.
So do you want to do that by spending a stress for a die, or do you want to do that as a setup action?
I think it might be better as a setup action to basically just potentially improve the effect.
Absolutely, so that they can
Or the
finish it off
position,
in one go.
depending on what the sensor do. Yes, so I think Lena is basically just like run over to the bomb now that the dead are basically distracted, and is going to just look at the bomb and like take out her notebook and like quickly go over the notes that she wrote down from what his name from Van's Van's little like seminar, and he's basically going to just like chat into like for the sense ear of have you tried this looks familiar. I think Van told us that if you see this, it kind of connects to like this part.
So that feels we're desperate, but standard effect for the assist. And you're doing that with analyze, I believe.
Yeah, it would probably be allies.
Analyze or empathize.
No, if I use analyze, that's 2 dice. If I change of pace, since I use analyze a lot, I think I'm gonna use empathize.
Okay. 2 dice. And of course, mark transcendence either way. Let's have you roll.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, I double 3.
So that is a 3. So you are not going to succeed in assisting 37. And since he was desperate, I'm going to put another tick on the clock. And I do think that it is like you get up close to this magical field as 37 is dealing with it. And there is a vibration that you start up, and you will hear some of the stones start to go elsewhere down here. Do you want to resist one of those?
When you say stone goes somewhere else,
Yeah,
what do
so
you mean
you'll hear the
exactly?
sound of stones falling and people screaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna resist that.
Okay,
Oh no, always do that. So that sounds like sun to me.
is that okay?
So it would be just
One
one
die.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let us see. Ooh, a 1.
All right. So mark those 3 boxes of stress, and then roll a d6 for me.
Yeah, okay. D6. A 2.
Yes, you are going to go into eclipse. So what does that look like? Like, how do we know? Well, read us your eclipse thing, because it's the first time we've seen you have this. So
Okay. When you eclipse, no one wasting time with friends or feelings. They just get in the way. It's time to focus on something real and tangible, something that makes sense. You find a concrete, rational, and entirely impossible task to pursue to the exclusion of all else.
okay. And your
Okay.
escape?
My escape. Escape eclipse when someone works alongside you on your task without judgment and you let the task go incomplete and unresolved.
Okay. I do think we see you shaky there. You will keep absorb some of that energy and keep that from getting out elsewhere. 37, you're concentrating on this. You've made progress. I think you can finish it if you do well, but you also see at the corner of your eye, you see Alina kind of step back, and you see, like, you've seen this happen before. You've seen Alina go into that fugue state, into that kind of thrown off from the pressure state. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, so I have a question. If I change the approach, is it possible to increase the effect?
Well, it could do that with a flashback to tell me what you prepared to change up the position. Sure.
No, I mean, like, if I try to just activate the bomb, would it be easier?
Well, the general position here is desperate low. So do you want to take an action to change the state of it?
No, my idea is that because I have a transcendent ability code on the other side of time, so when I push myself, one of the things I can do is that I can remove an ally or foe from the flow of time. So like I'm thinking like the idea is that
Yeah,
I will trigger the bomb and then remove, like I will activate the trigger and then remove the bomb from the flow of time. So there is a discrepancy between the trigger and the actual mechanism. And like, so this may, like this is easier, but like it's riskier.
yeah, I like that. So push yourself. You'll get that extra die.
Yeah.
And we'll say desperate, standard effect to finish this thing off. Does that seem fair?
Yeah. So I think this is more defined than an analyze because I am not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think you're
Yeah.
right. So
Is
right
there
now you're
another
sitting.
poison? Is the poison palm is just feeling the?
No, I think the poisoned promise here is that you're going to instinctively push Alina back away from this in a really unkind and kind of brutal way.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take that because like honestly, I was thinking about something like that would happen either way.
Yeah. So, Alina, you're standing there, kind of trying to come to terms with it. You know, you're brown people, and then just 37 just pushes you back like you're nothing, like you can't help, like you're just a waste of space, is how you read that.
No. I don't think it's like I think I even
Oh,
say something like
yeah, yeah. So tell, but Alina's going to read it badly. But so what do you do?
no. I think what I would say like wait your turn. It's not your turn yet, and like in some way that's worse, right?
Yeah, absolutely dismissive.
Like it's really babying.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's
I
fair.
think that's even worse than just shouting without saying anything.
Yeah. So 3 dice then.
Yeah, and I don't think I have any way to get more, so I'm going to roll.
Desperate. So mark that XP and roll.
Yeah, it's D5. Okay, let me see. So it's I got a 4, so that's okay.
So I think that you will do this, but I think that you are going to mark a level of harm. I think this requires you to really engage with the fabric of magic here in an unpleasant way. And I think that it will draw out like some of your essence there. So like essence lost as a level 1 harm. You can resist that if you wish.
I have 4 spreads. I can do a link.
Yeah, good shape.
Yeah, so I'm going to spend 1 stress with Saracena to get more stress. Okay, then I'm going to resist.
Okay.
So
let's say sun.
It's magic. Okay, okay. I am going to roll 2 dice.
Look
I
at
got a
that.
6. So
Oh yeah, you're in great shape. And there is that blip as you move this bomb out of this timeline and kind of back in quickly. You kind of blink it in and out, and that magic trigger that you've been working on will just crack and shatter, and the bomb is diffused.
Yeah. By the way, I want to add a detail. Like
Sure.
This was what
Please.
I was saying. I think like because like Alina is probably close enough to see my notes. And like I think like because especially when you are writing about this technical thing, code or mechanism, like different people have different style, right? You use different acronyms and different, ways to draw chart. And then I think like Alina can tell somehow like that page of my note is obviously transcribed or copied from her. Like even though she doesn't remember writing that because it has, acronyms and like flowchart in her style. And like, so like while she was still confused about it, I think I was like, like I was putting the note away and like, oh, I didn't need this after all.
Nice. So the bombs are diffused. So we're going to kind of go to a little bit of a montage here. Saracena, what do we see, in the aftermath of these bombs being taken apart, being diffused? People are still trapped below, but like, what do we see you doing? What's the, like, if we cut back and we see the slow motion of all of you working on the scene, what do we see you doing?
I think that Saracena is like kind of shaken because she and Senna did like it was getting pretty tense between the two of them. And I think that essentially what it is that like Sarah is very much like, Kevin, you have to help me when I do this thing, like to go, not that because Senna won't, but that she wants to go, that we have to all work together. And it's very much them carefully trying to lower this bomb which they've diffused, but essentially it's still dangerous. Like very carefully with those things and try to keep as many of the wishes intact and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And there's just more of that thing of that you can see her looking, and that given her option, she would stay here and put all of these lines back up, if that makes any sense.
And it can be what after that, what do we see you doing?
Well, I'm off trying to figure out if I need how I can clear debris and stuff that is clearly blocking the escape of people, as I'm a person of the people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. See you finding the entryways that people got down into there, where the doors are jammed and where rubble is fallen, and working with people to get that cleared out. And 37, what do we see you doing then?
Yeah, actually, I want to describe a flashback.
Please.
Like I think like I was watching like everyone else work, including like I think I'm like this is just me working out of the crypt with Alina. I think like she needs some help, and like because she's a little distracted, and like I think we see this flashback, like it's like maybe the very first time I travel back, we see like 37 and Alina were like good friends, like they are probably best friends, and then like but like there was one point where like maybe it's immediately after this, they are having an argument, and Alina was like, I can't help you if you won't talk to me. And then like I think there was a moment when like I think like 37 back then, like she acts completely differently, right? She is like she has this sour look all the time. And like I think like she slapped Alina in the face and say, know your place. And like she obviously she wants to say peasant, but she doesn't actually say it. But then Alina hit her back, right? Because she doesn't know, she's actually noble. And then I think that's like when 37 say something like, oh, you're such a waste of time, and like like this, like it's the kind of like noble woman renting at like an underclass, like a servant, or like a handmaiden. And like I think like we see that like and like I think we cut to basically like some kind like like Alina go into like this state, and like it's really bad, and that's when 37 realized that like maybe she's not a good influence on Alina.
Okay.
And then so she's like thinking, oh, okay, this is fine, it's better this way.
Yeah, and it kind of then as we cut back to the present, kind of a distance or a separation between the two of you, or what do we see?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and Alina, what do we see of you here in the eclipse, in the aftermath here?
Just to clarify, in the disease where I got the one and eclipse, I tried to disease the flooding debris and the citizens. So with the one, I'm guessing I failed to do that.
Oh no, you always, whenever you resist, you automatic, it always happens. If you resist, that you pay a cost, but the thing that you resisted doesn't happen. So you did save them.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think we'll see Elena. Yeah, I think we'll see Elena was like kind of like slow, like clearing out the debris, like letting the people out. But actually that's so it's pretty like obvious that she's kind of like in auto mode, basically just going with what's happening. Like it's pretty clear that her mind is somewhere else, and I think it was like we'll see like Elena. Her mind's like racing at the moment, and part of that is kind of like on the whole like page that 47 has of. That's definitely my style of writing. That's definitely how I would have described it, but I've never written that. How does this have that?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean? And probably also thought you probably should also like think about like the Wizard 47 has also mentioned how like Ash like pushed it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically just like going back and forth like is she correct? Is she perhaps like I tried to have the bomb, but I just made the things worse. It almost costed the citizens their lives.
Yeah, I think we'll see all of this. We see the people getting people out, you know, the staff of the Center of Faith arriving back, and I think we will go and take our second break here. I'm going to screen share here real quick first before I go, just so we get it in the thing. So let's take till 5 after the hour.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Did we resolve Akemi's eclipse or not?
Akemi didn't go into eclipse, right?
Like
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, we resolved Akemi's eclipse
Okay.
last time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because like in the Kyoto Keep, I see that the stress is completely filled out.
Right, but they didn't go into eclipse this time because they didn't go over. They were right at the
Okay.
edge. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so that's how it works. Okay.
yeah. So let's take till 5 after. We'll come back and we'll continue on. And we're back. Now, we normally go into the fallout phase, but I think we want to talk about the play, because there's potentially some impact on that, you know, in the aftermath. Um, Alina, what is it that you grab out of like the clothes and costumes that you have to replace your outfit that got ripped up?
Hmm. I guess that would depend on what kind of play
Okay.
we're going to
So let me ask you
have.
this then. Let me start this. You are the person who kind of or behind, you know, kind of thinking about the play. So like who is it? Is it the four of you in the play, or is it are there some other people in the play?
So in Alina's mind, this play is starting to help the people like in the like, neighborhood, like reduce some stress. And because this theater that we reside in belongs to Charlie, Alina basically said like to propose this plan to Charlie, get like, her permission to use the theater, and basically get her input on basically everything. So basically, Alina, we said basically put Charlie in charge of the play, but she's kind of working like the secretary, like the right hand man of getting everything sorted out. But she like, leaves like all the executive decisions to Charlie because Charlie grew up in this field, basically.
Okay. So getting some locals, trying to get you to participate. Okay.
And I think Alina maybe would try and like get the artists like Sena for the seven and Akemi to also like take part,
Okay.
not necessarily as actors in a play, but maybe like help get this sorted out. Like maybe like get Sena to be like the special effects.
Okay. That seems fair. 37, we know that the neighborhood is going to attend there. But who else comes? Who's an unusual person or group that also comes to see this weird neighborhood play?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I actually think I sent invitations to some nobles, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And it's signed with my real name
All right.
because that's the only way that works, right?
So we definitely see Baron Fleming in the audience and some other nobles who have come at your invitation that are a little weirded out by coming to down to this area. Like, do you go present yourself as yourself to say hi to them, or are you kind of just you send the invitations and hide away? What do you think?
Yeah, actually, I think that would be like I think like I'm trying to like make it like kind of an announcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think after everything, I'm trying to do something else, something different, and one of that is trying to reclaim my noble title, right?
Okay. That seems fair. Akemi, what kind of play is this? What's the theme? You know, are we doing 12th Night, or are we doing Lear? Or are we doing some kind of children's play? Or what do you think it is that we're going to see here?
Let's see. Thinking here. And the ultimate goal of this play is to help kind of ease the people, if I remember right,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, kind of make up for some of the hits that the neighborhood and the populace have taken.
Okay. So let's see here. Thinking here, maybe a play that has like some good vibes here. I'm thinking maybe like something about um the changing of the seasons and everything, and
Okay.
uh and like kind of like how our situation is ever changing, and then with and this kind of in this changing of the seasons, like it's like falling of a community or something that is struggling but always holds on to hope or something along that lines.
So a more abstract kind of pastoral
Yeah.
okay, okay. I like that. I'm going to ask Saracena a question on this, but before I do that, I want to come around and uh, Alina, what do you do in the play? Are you stage manager? Are you acting? Are you doing a bunch of things?
I feel like Elena's probably going to be like the stage manager, basically just like making sure that everything's ready because she because I'm very much thinking that Charlie's probably going to like take like the lead role in the play because for an actor.
Oh, of course.
So Elena's basically going to take on the role of basically the manager is ensuring that everything is going smoothly, telling people, okay, it's your cue, get ready. Basically just because this is like her idea to get this started, so she's going to take the time and uh, procedure to make sure that it runs smoothly.
Okay. 37, what are you doing? How are you helping out with the play?
Yeah. Hold on.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, so I was thinking because we have established that I think like either it's just the art form of the city is different, or maybe like it's like Charlie's family theater is different. But like we have established, like the stage has a lot of different kind of props and mechanisms. So I imagine like it's like it's not just like theater. I imagine like they do more like a review with like a mix of some like maybe there are even, acrobatics and, like it's
Okay.
more like, circus that so with more like, with more acting than just, like, so I imagine like there is at like there is a character and there is basically like a part of the performance is just an opera singer, and that's what 37 is doing.
Okay. So taking kind of center stage here in this we've got a pastoral play, we've got some action sequences, some demonstration of acrobatics and circus bits, and some acting and things, like a big mix of things. I like it. Akemi, what do you do?
Akemi is definitely one that likes to not have too much like attention or side on themselves. So they'd be probably more or less kind of just doing, I think, more the odd jobs of like, oh, we need to get so and so thing moved onto the stage for this next part, or basically they're the set crew.
Okay, set crew, moving things around. I like it. Trying to keep out of the way. Saracena, what is it that you do?
I never moved really from my thing up by the ceiling, but Sarah Senna is the sound system, and they boost all of the songs. And even when there's just the other things going on, Sarah keeps a sort of low level thematic song going
Okay.
through the whole thing, so that there's always that backdrop of music that like, and she can make it swell and all of those things. She has an incredible voice herself, but she can put it where she wants to, and it just kind of flows around, and she can amp like when 37 sings or when Charlie sings, she can always just make sure it carries, how do you say,
Okay.
like consistently throughout the theater. It is orally an amazing thing. So
And so here's a question I kind of held off to
Okay.
ask you about the play. What goes wrong or chaotically during the performance? What is our bit of misfire?
Oh,
You're running on shoestring resources, so something's got to go
yeah,
wrong.
it does. And I think that the thing that goes wrong is that they've put the show together very quickly. And some of the performers couldn't make it until the night of the performance, but they were given the music that they were going to perform. And when they get up, the music that they were given the things for was different than what we thought it was. Like, we sent the folios over because they had the right name on it, but the actual music was something different. So they start singing something completely wrong, like not what we
There's
were
a moment
expecting.
of them going to the Dies Irae,
Yes.
when it's like a charming song.
Yeah,
Okay.
so something pastoral, and all of a sudden they've gone into, full choir mass sort of sound.
Okay.
So
So there's a bit of that. It goes pretty well. The neighborhood is a lot of them are curious about you all, and so getting a chance to see the kind of the insides and see the theater, that definitely will tighten those bonds there between you and their group, and you will, the authorities are not entirely pleased on having a bunch of strangers in what is to their mind an official military building, but it does happen and go off. So we are going to go to the fallout phase. I am going to put 2 ticks on the adversary track. I'm going to put 1 on authorities and 1 on dissidents, but not on the populace. This time I'm going to keep that that steady. But with that, you may erase, unless you're in Eclipse, all stress from your sheet, erase any unspent links, and reset your transcendence tracks and armor uses.
I always forget my armor.
Yes, I know. You'll notice I don't remind you of your armor, by the way.
I would have used that to keep Akemi from getting hurt.
I know. So unkind. So we have a Fallout. That Fallout is tier 2 now. Everything is equal on those marks between populace, authorities, and dissidents. So I believe that last time you did populace for the Fallout. So we should either do authorities or dissidents for the Fallout.
It makes sense that it's authorities because we have that homing device that we found at this place.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
Okay.
It could also potentially be, we could also maybe do the dissidents because we know that the authorities weren't really exactly happy with the play that we did, but perhaps the dissidents also perhaps maybe either played a part in the homing, like maybe it was they who set it up to maybe like force the authorities' hand in some weird way, or maybe even the dissidents maybe themselves are also unhappy with what we did in the play, but aren't exactly showing it.
Sure.
So that could also work, I feel like.
Anyone else have a strong feeling? We've got kind of 1-1 on that.
We haven't done dissidents yet, right?
I don't
think
believe so.
the first one we did is authorities.
Yep.
Like that's when we get austerity, and the last time we did populace. So I think it would be interesting to do dissidents. And I feel like maybe like at least some dissidents may just be unhappy that the play happened at all, right?
Yeah.
Because they feel like we should be more focused on the war effort or whatever. And like, especially since 37 invited a bunch of nobles.
Yes.
So like, there's a good chance to spin this as like, something that, like this upper class entertainment, like.
It definitely shows to some people that you are lapdogs of the nobility and the authorities. So I'm going to roll 3 dice. And that is a 6. So let me think on that. I'm gonna roll that out next time because I want a chance to think about that. But basically is one of your friends is going to get caught up with somebody bad.
They got in with a bad crowd.
Bad crowd. So we'll come back to that. Let's actually go to XP here, I think. Rather than rolling into obligation phase or any of that stuff. We'll start out with that next time and kind of start from a fresh point, if that sounds okay. So let's see here. I'll check the series stuff first. You successfully carried out a mission. And you disposed of 2 bombs, so we give you 2 XP. Because that's multiple times. Struggle with your place in the city and protect the citizenry. I think yes on that. Deal with the tensions between factions. I think we got some of that here in the end with the play. And I think also the doing a play at all expresses the essential nature of your group. And let's remember next time also we'll kind of start out with Alina, like talking about like what the eclipse means for her. So Let's look at your XP questions, Alina. Address a challenge with knowledge or subtlety.
Yeah, we definitely I tried to at least address the challenge with knowledge of the bombs. Didn't go well, but I tried.
Yeah. Let's give you 2 because I like that other thing with the device that you did. I think that was interesting.
Yeah. Okay, that was that.
Express your beliefs, drives, role, or background.
Let's see. Elena did express her like I believe like in protecting the citizens
Okay.
by going down the basically crashing down into the hole, and
so a mark an XP for that.
yeah, I think that's one for that. You start with issues in promise obligation. Obligation. There is a whole obligation of the corps and just like helping the citizens out.
Yeah.
And there was a struggle of do we help the citizens under the rub or do we go for the spell first? There's that.
Mark an XP for that. Yeah.
And I think perhaps my like promise with 47 trying to like bridge the gap, maybe like that was like a struggle in this, especially because
Yeah,
after
no,
like,
I agree wholeheartedly. I think that's perfect. So another
yeah,
XP for that.
yeah, because in the actual mission, and I did like try and help 47 a lot in like setting up potential actions for her, and there was the whole like struggle at the end, so that would count. And you embodied your eclipse or displayed the content of your heart. She did display contents of her heart by, as always, just trying to like help out the citizens out of this dangerous situation, trying to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And I did eclipse, so that counts as
I haven't had a chance to express it yet. So, but let's give you 1 point
yeah.
for the contents of your heart there. We'll certainly give you some chance for the eclipse next time.
Yeah, okay. And a question of the desperate daughter.
Yeah.
So we get 1 XP every time we do a desperate daughter.
And it goes to whatever the track of whatever action dot you rolled with.
Yeah, okay, because I'm trying to like think back because I know I did 1 desperate daughter when I restarted the undead, and I can't remember if the setting up the rope down the hole and trying to help listen defuse the bomb. I can't remember.
That was the rope was just risky.
Okay, and help me out for the 7. That was also desperate, or was that risky?
I think that was desperate.
Okay, so that would be. So I got 2 actions for that attribute. Let's see, that was both times it was. Okay, 1 was analyze, 1 was empathize.
Yep. So put a tick on each of those tracks. 37. Address a challenge with foresight or revelation.
Yeah, I think like at least like setting up Alina with like, you know, the stuff she needs. Let's at least 1.
That and having the way you described having the tools ready.
Yeah.
Script. So let's give you 2 for that. Express your beliefs, drives, role, or background.
I mean, I make the secret noble part like relevant this time.
Yeah, no, definitely give you a tick for that. Struggle with issues from your promises or obligations.
Yeah, I think we definitely have the one with Alina this time.
Yeah, definitely give you a point for that. Embody your eclipse or display the contents of your heart.
Yeah, I actually think because like we have that flashback about what happened with Alina and everything.
Yeah. I'm actually give you 2 for that because that was a nice, strong, solid view. I think that really showed us a lot there. Akemi.
All right. So I did address a few things with compassion here, especially with like in regards to trying to take any of the protection for the citizens and such, and Saracena.
So 2 for that.
I definitely actually did kind of show my kind of drive here in this situation of like actually and my belief now, like kind of following what Saracena and all kind of gave me alongside Elena of just like and 37 of just all of them saying, hey, don't push yourself into a bad situation. So
yeah, I give you a point for that. I think that's great.
Struggle with issues from your promises. I don't think I had anything of the sort. Because I don't think I struggled with that, and I don't think I
Yeah.
struggled with obligation, so
No.
nothing there. I did have this a bit of the contents of my heart showing with, once again, just kind of that taking non-verbally, but just with my actions of taking in what everybody has told me.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely the point there. Yeah. Saracena.
Okay, so address the challenge with understanding your coordination. I would say that the entire upper bomb thing was a coordination
Okay.
with the Kimmy.
Yeah, a couple of
It's-
times. So
Yeah, so
two.
and also in the sense of pretty cool with letting the other two go and trusting them to handle the other bomb. So
Yeah.
that was let's see, I expressed my beliefs, drives, role, or background. So I do think that see, that's always a hard one because I'm like looking to go, what are those things?
Mhm.
But I would say that yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But here's the thing with my role is we picked these before we played. Can I change these to
Yeah.
what? Okay, so that would be helpful. I would say one just because
Okay.
I'm having trouble figuring
Sure.
out what
Let's
the
figure
line
that
is
out.
on
Yeah.
that. You know, I share myself with beloved mask. So essentially and care about that.
One of
So
the things is that they use that term role earlier for writing that, but then they also talk about what is your role within the group, like in the XP thing. So it is a little bit terminologies kind of overlap. So yeah, I think it's
Okay.
fair to change that.
Okay.
Struggles with issues from your promises or obligation?
Yeah, because I was pushing it with Senna, I think, very much. And there was that whole thing of throwing ourselves into the brink.
Mhm.
And it got really close.
Okay.
So I think definitely one there at least.
Yeah.
Whoops. And
Embodied your eclipse or display contents of your heart?
yeah. Let's see here. I embodied my eclipse. We got really close. Kind of got that how do you say that tingle on it?
Mm-hmm.
Displayed the contents of my heart. I don't think so as much. So,
Okay.
So maybe that's it.
Okay. I would like to do a quick stars wishes. Alina, can I start with you?
Yeah, we can. So, as we start for the events characters, for Kimmy, like, I really liked how she basically like took in, as you said, the lessons from Saracena, Alina, V7, and just like didn't bundle like dash off to fix the situation. It just like took her time to kind of analyze what was going on, and then took up what to whom mind was appropriate actions. Like I enjoy like seeing that progress, like started the series and how they pay off this session a bit. Saracena, I very much enjoy like the whole like pushing like the relationship between the two as they dealt with the like bomb in like the upper part of the catacombs which is building. It was like fun to see because we haven't actually seen this scene actually really get ads like at all for the series. I think maybe like seeing a bit more of them, like a bit at ads would be something entertaining. And for 37, I enjoyed very much the like cooperation that we see like Halutelina down in the actual crypt with the atom bomb, and very much like really like the whole like flashback sequence we had like, where they showed they basically like, described the relationship that they had like in a previous timeline and how that kind of fell apart. Like that was like I think a really good like detail, and it basically like maybe like explain a lot why of recent like distant result with Elena in the current timeline.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing like how that may potentially like culminate into something later down the road. And I did also like just like the whole, okay, let's just activate the bomb, and that would be easier way to just get rid of it than actually trying to diffuse before that. And as always, start to for creating a situation that I originally thought, oh, we're going to get through this like in an hour and a half maybe, and then we just everything goes wrong. Yes, and I enjoyed like just the whole like crypt and put in the undead dead as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my stats for wishes, if I had any. I guess my only like, wish is to see potentially how Elena's eclipse is going to affect the next session or two.
Okay. Absolutely. We'll remind and talk about that right at the start next time. So
Yeah, it gives me time to actually think about such a task.
yeah, what that looks like. Yeah. 37.
Yeah, so I like the setup of this mission because it's obviously a situation where we have to split up instead of trying to stay as a group because both bombs can go off. So like we have to more or less deal with that at the same time. And I think that's interesting. And like we see like, different, like we have different challenges and like different approach to dealing with that challenge. And yeah, I think that bring out the character, especially like, like with Saracena and Akemi, we see a lot of, oh, I'm just going to resist that consequences and burn the stress, like, and yeah, and like in the catacomb, we have this dynamic where like Alina keeps trying to help, and then 37 isn't actually appreciative, and that's also like a completely different dynamic
Mm-hmm.
from what's happened above. And I think it's a really interesting contrast. I also enjoy like I like doing the play, even if like it's a relatively short thing like of doing this, but I think it's just like it really makes sense because we are based out of a theater anyway. And as for wishes, I don't have any particular. I guess my wish is that I want to see how 37 reclaiming her noble title would work out.
Okay.
And I'm also looking forward to seeing like Alina's eclipse and like who would get her out of it and how. I think that's my main wish.
Okay. I think that's both good ones. Clips. Akemi.
So stars for just everything that was kind of going on with Alina and 37 as they were handling things in the downstairs, and their fun little kind of coordination while also not being coordinated in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And also enjoyed just seeing more and more of 37's flashbacks here that and situations of like, oh, like remembering what happens with Alina and everything, and just always how they how newly they tackle something from the future this time, and seeing how that plays out for their general play or that they're kind of going through in a way. Been enjoying that. Also, stars to Sarah for like just one the like getting to see more of the Senna side of things, but and two, like was really enjoying kind of just the dynamic of like how Kemi and Sarah were both very much kind of like picking each other up as they were both failing on dealing with this bomb one at each and every step. Wishes, I don't think I have anything at the moment that comes to mind at the moment.
Fair enough. And Saracena.
Let's see here. Well, what everyone else said, it was really good. The the there's a thing with the time traveler S-37 runs them where it like maintains a real tension as they fix things, and they introduce more tension every time they do it. So it is unlike it never feels like they're solving a problem. It feels like they're creating more problems that get past the problem they have right now. And it's really lovely to watch the plot go. Alina so sincerely chose the right thing to do at every point and had a bad time with it. And it was exactly the sort of thing that would put a person into the tailspin that is being knocked out that way, going into eclipse. It was like really appropriate. It was really well done, and like that quiet like drop in down. I really liked that you added that homing device in there. I think that's an interesting thing that we need to look into, and yet it will change the dynamic of the situation when that's handled, though there may be more of that going on that we don't know about. Let's see here. The teamwork with the Chemi and Saracena was in fact failing, and keeping each other from the worst of the fails. And I apologize to Chemi that I did not remember my armor, so that I could have dropped off that other arm that was on there. But I will, my system mastery, I will get that in place. I don't know. It was a good game. A lot of cool things happened. Everyone's characters are super strong in my head. And I'm enjoying how this is rolling out.
And anything wishes wise?
Let's see. There's so many good things happening. We're going to be dealing with the dissidents. I'm looking forward to some new NPCs. I'm also looking forward to getting to meet our gossip.
Okay. We'll get the gossip and the innkeep on stage right away.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm going to stop the recording.